yeah, so I want to ask, see, if you're going to get into this, there is a definite guarantee that at some point we will feel burnout, right? And you yourself have gone through a lot of burnout.
A lot, yeah.
So how do you suggest that people deal with this?
I'm not the right person to answer that. I myself don't deal with it properly. Okay, I think, yeah, I like being honest. Why should I hide anything? So,
See, it doesn't matter if the answer you're giving is the right answer, because this is no examination. So we
okay. What
just
I
want to
did.
know what you
Okay,
did. That's all.
okay. So
People
I
might do it differently. It doesn't matter.
okay. I'm a high functioning alcoholic. So I drink a lot, and
Okay.
I'm making a genuine effort to stop doing that. And I don't like saying that because I regret doing that in my life, actually, because it's a very bad habit. It kills your health, it wastes your time, it drains your money, and that time, there are so many sanctuaries out there who are begging for funds, and I'm wasting my money doing on stupid, worthless poison putting in my body. So I don't say that it's right, but that's who I am or I was, because I'm genuinely trying to quit right now. I haven't drank in the past like 20 plus days, but when I get severely burnt out, I just listen to loud music. I drink a lot. Oh yeah, and also I think all of us as human beings, we do need at least someone to talk to, at least someone who understands us. And for me, that person is Jayasilan. He's the only friend I have that I can just call up at any time, and he always responds to my calls, and I just text him. In fact, I talk to only two human beings regularly. One is Jayasilan from Kerala. Second is my wife. Apart from that, I don't interact with humans anymore. I just don't like to. I find humans annoying and repulsive. So selfish thing. The problem is they're selfish. Humans are so. I mean, we're capable of doing so many great things, right? I mean, like, we have these fingers, we have thumbs that can grab things. You know how many things we can do that other animals can't do. The amount of things that we can do on Earth that other creatures can't do is insane. We have a huge brain, and then we can walk on 2 feet, so it frees our hands, so we can actually do more activities. And I mean, there's so much good things we can do, yet we are so selfish, and we're so distracted. We laugh at moths who fly and keep bumping into the light, right? We laugh at them and think, how stupid they are. The whole idea was that before lights came about, they would fly to the moon because that's the only lit up object in the sky, and they'll meet each other and they'll mate over that. That's why moths do that biologically. And we see, like, oh look, the rat is going to the rat trap. He knows he's going to get caught, but still he goes there. He's so stupid. Or like, you can manage to trick a dog by giving it some food. But we humans are similarly equally stupid. Hey, look, hey, wow, did you see the latest episode of Big Boss? Like, no offense to those who watch it, but seriously, like, I mean, like, hey, did you watch that movie? Oh my God, that actress did this. I'm like, nothing wrong in watching those things, but if you, they have managed to take your focus I guess, people above or other human beings, like, they have taken our focus to just focus on one thing and not see other things in life. So it's like, I mean, we're like literally stuck in the matrix right now. It wasn't this bad 200 years ago, before technology was this big. It wasn't. People would read books, they would dance, they would talk to each other, something. But right now, people, and with the invention of a phone, everyone's literally stuck to the phone. Like, they're glued to the phone, including me. But anyways, the question was, how do I deal with? Sorry, I keep going off track.
That's okay.
Deal with burnouts.
So as long as they are stuck on their phone and watching the Vegan Veranda or Arvind Animal,
in fact, that is what I'd always say when people ask me, dude, why did you stop lecturing? Why? I'm like, no, listen, dude, you won't believe. Like, every time I went out to do outreach, be it Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, anywhere, when I confront a person of our age, our generation, in a mall or on the beach or in the park, they're always on their phone. So I had to be like, hey, can you watch this instead of what you're watching over there? And they're like, fine, they'll come. So I'm like, you know what? Let me directly appear in your phone, so I'll speak to you from there. That's how. So if you scroll, I won't be in person, but hey, I'm on your screen right now. So from that, they can see me. But speaking of burnouts, I've had many activists. So here's another problem with me. I don't know if it's just my nature or what's wrong with me, but many activists send me these videos saying, okay, Melanie Joy has given like this wonderful talk about how to come over. I haven't watched that, how to come over like when you're burnt out as an activist. And there's this a lady called the vegan psychologist from Australia or somewhere. I've heard of these people only. I haven't watched their stuff. They send me these links. I don't watch any of it. Like, it's not that I don't want to listen to what they say, but I'm very rare kind of personality that very few things impress me, and very few things people I want to hear from. Like, if I know that person is very smart, intelligent, knows what they're talking about, is experienced, I'll want to listen to them. If it's just some average Joe talking something, I'm not even willing to listen to that. So I don't know, man. The last time I got burnt out was, when did I get burnt? 1 second. Hey, Marshwini, when did I get burnt out last?
What the fuck?
A month ago. Really? December? Yeppa? Little bit. No, but like big one. I think the last time I remember getting a really big one. Okay. She, the poor thing, she has to put up with my shit every day at home. So,
It's like she's keeping accounts of you, or like, when did you get burned out?
yeah, according to her, in December I got a mild burnout. But as far as I can remember, this happened. In June of 2020 was when I last got burnt out. I didn't sleep properly. So again, and back then the alcohol shops were closed here in Chennai. So I bought like this big tub of coffee powder, and I started drinking like loads of coffee instead of alcohol, just to get something running in the brain. And one time I overdid it and I got all paranoid. You know what happens if you overdo caffeine? You start getting jittery and you start getting all paranoia. I got that, then I stopped doing that. And in 2020 December, I got burned. I don't know. I drink. Yeah, I used to drink. These days, I'm avoiding drinking. I don't want to drink anymore. And another problem with me, I overwork a lot. I undersleep, I overwork. I put a lot of stress on myself. As I told you, on vacation, I was working for 8 hours a day. On vacation, this point in box messages. I went to visit my parents for the first time. My dad's retired right now. I went to visit them for the first time in the village in 5 years. And I'm still working there, like probably 6 hours a day, responding to comments and stuff. Not interacting with them or anybody there. Still planning what video to shoot next, this and that, like always stressed. Even right now when I'm talking about this, it just stresses me out. Like, I don't know, you tell me, how do I deal with this? You tell me, I don't know what to do.
See, what we do essentially is that we completely avoid burnout. So, what I think is about getting burnt out and then coming out of it is a completely different thing. So what I think is it's better to avoid burnout at all by, giving yourself, why do we get burned out? So we get burnt out because we take too much stuff on our plates, right? So what we do is usually we only take as much as we can chew. Like even for this channel. So I'm doing my project and I have to dedicate some amount of hours per week for that. He is working full time, so he has to go to work and he has to get it done. So how do we manage this is that we have completely compartmentalized our work. So what we do is, I don't focus on script writing as much as I should. I focus way less on script writing. I used to do some editing, but now Saurav is doing that editing. So I don't even have to look at editing.
I understand the fact that you were able to divide your work. Let's just say you're dividing your work perfectly, you're doing all of that. Even then, on a general basis, I'm just asking you, like, aren't you? I guess this depends from person to person, their personalities, but I don't know. I just find this world depressing. Especially after going vegan. Before going vegan, I didn't find it depressing. But after going vegan, I find it just depressing, and it's just sad. Every day is sad. I'm never, and even though we do so much, nothing big is really happening. I mean, okay, let's just say, for example, like if I can say, I made 1,000 people go vegan. Okay, that's awesome, dude. But did you know just today in India, probably 80,000 babies are born and they'll all be non-vegan till they die. So, man, big whoop, 1,000 people go vegan. Like we're fighting we have taken the most difficult of all fights. You're literally trying to climb a mountain. There's not even a slope. There's like a 90 degrees straight up high with your hands tied behind your back and blindfolded and backwards with like 100 kgs hanging from you. Like, don't you guys just every day doing this? Isn't it just like I don't know, like, how do I put it? Like, it's just, don't you feel that way? Like, it's just irritating. I don't know. I feel that way. And the only other person I know who agrees with me 100% on this is Jayaseelan. Like, he also, like, that's why he's the only guy in India whom I can 100% relate to. He's the only human being I've met whom I can relate to 100% because he feels the exact same way. It's just, I don't know how to say it. It's just so, that's the best way I can say it. Like,
So
I think-
this kind of comes from our the thing that we are at loggerheads with about, right? So I am completely pessimistic that nothing is going to happen in our lifetimes, and Gaurav is completely convinced that something will definitely happen in our lifetime. So I guess that is what is propelling us. So what I think is, well, regardless of what I do today, things are going to be hard. So it's better to lead by example and live a life which kind of inspires other people, and
True.
and to do what we can do while. So instead of doing like instead of stressing myself out with 7 outreaches a week, so doing outreach every single day, I'll do it on one day. I'm talking about normal days, of course, not during the pandemic, but I'll do it like once a week or twice a week or something like that. And I know that that's all I can do. So I know that I'm at a place where things are not going to change, and like we are in the point of history that, like, honestly, I think that we have been born in the wrong time. We should have been born a few years in the future, where things will be a lot better.
Centuries in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully things will be better then.
Yeah.
But we have been born in this, so we have to live with this. So it doesn't help anyone. So if I get burnt out, it doesn't help the animals. If if Gaurav gets burnt out, what will happen is, we might be forced to give up activism, and who is that helping? Right. So and Gaurav, being very optimistic, he's like, hi, whatever we do, it will eventually help some animals, so we'll do it. So I'm saying, let's do whatever we can and then forget the rest. Gaurav is like, let's do whatever we can, something will happen.
Yeah, something will happen.
As I told you, I think it depends on our personalities. Like, if you're an optimist by default, that's great. I guess. I think more than an optimist, it's about being a realist, just seeing realistically what's happening and what's going on. And here's another sad thing. If you are a person who hates human beings, like a misanthrope, it's that that famous quote, right? The most difficult part of being vegan is not about finding what's next to eat. It's about coming to face the dark side of humanity and like wondering, like, that question is forever ingrained in the back of my head. Like, it's forever running 24/7 when I'm sleeping. It's like, I don't get this. Like, what's going on? Like, as I told you, it's like at one point the light bulb just goes on, and then like when it's on, it's like you see things now you didn't see before, and it's like you can't erase them. It's like forever there. It's like, shit, now I have to deal with this for the rest of my life.
It first burns like a light bulb, then hits your head like a hammer.
Yeah.
I think Arvind, I don't know about your case, it might be totally different for you, but then like just what Apuda said, like how we just avoid burnout completely. So what the two things that I do is I just do what I can. I do the best like I can, just like Apuda said, and apart from that, I extremely limit my information consumption. So just like you said that I know there are maybe 100 chickens or maybe 100 goats being killed in my city. Maybe thousands are happening. But stay away from the social media as much as possible. I do what is best by my case. And so just like Arvind also said, we have divided our work completely and given us very fancy corporate nicknames. So Apuda is the social media manager slash what do you say, marketing personnel, whatever.
Marketing, yeah.
Marketing strategist.
I'm the creative head, and Saurav is the technical head, so he's handling the video and audio and all that.
So what?
One small thing I want to say.
Yeah,
small thing. Something I'm really lucky about is that when people see my videos, they usually think like, wow, this guy is amazing, he's doing a lot of stuff, but that's not true. You have to understand that I'm just 50% of everything that's going on. Like, my team has I have 2 heads, 4 arms and 4 legs, because my wife is 100% working with me on everything I do. Everything. She is behind me, with me in every single video, from editing to promotions to script writing to what the TV shows we did. Like, everything is 100% team effort. So I'm at least glad that I have someone, this one other human, to help me do this, because if I was doing this alone, I think I really would have burnt out much more. Because I tell you, if you guys have you ever tried making videos, like actually put a green screen and put footage. It takes a long ass time, man. Dude, just to make a 5-minute video, it takes for us, from script writing to shooting, at least 80 to 100 hours. If you want a good quality, you have to subtitle the video, set a good thumbnail. There is so much to do. There is so much work behind the scenes that you wouldn't even know this much work takes place. But yeah, I guess, just want to say that. But you were saying about, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, so I just want to say that since we have mentioned Jai Seelan so much, let's just discuss about Jai Seelan, because I'm not sure if he has the if we can call him on the show, but even if we can, it's just fine. But you talk passionately about Jai Seelan, and everyone is passionate about Jai Seelan. So let's discuss brother on this channel.
Okay. So Jai Seelan is basically Mother Nature's last-ditch effort to somehow confront humanity, and it's like how in Captain Planet Gaia creates the 5 rings, and she's somehow they'll get together and form Captain Planet. That's like Captain Vegan, and he's like this little 5-foot mustache dude from Kerala. So. He's an awesome dude. He's a really cool guy. Talking about him, it's not practical once again, because we can't be like him. He is on a different level. He's very saint-like. He doesn't desire anything in life. If you were to take tomorrow electricity away from his life, doesn't care. You were to take delicious fruit from his life, doesn't care. Take his house away, doesn't care. He is off the grid. He only got a bank account last year in December. He's 29 years old. Okay, so that's a saint. That's a different kind of life. So for him, it's a different thing. He only cares about animals. He literally looks at them like how a mother would look at their own children. He sees them no differently. So what can I say? He's given up on activism, by the way. You know that, right?
Sorry, what?
He has given up on activism.
Oh yeah. I know.
He's completely given up on that.
Ever since that, I think he went to that slaughterhouse thing for a vigil. Something happened.
He's lost hope. He's like, that's not going to happen anymore. So nothing's going to happen. So but basically the thing is that I can relate to him. He can relate to me. So it's good to have at least one other person who kind of feels the same way. Because I think one thing we all desire as human beings is that we want to be able to be understood by at least one other person. At least someone can understand me completely. So it's good to meet someone like that. But that's a very, very rare personality. There's hardly anybody else like that ever on earth. So he's him.
So just let's conclude this episode with some Jai Seelan jokes.
Jai Seelan jokes?
Not jokes.
Jai Seelan facts.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
Arvind, you can start. I'll catch up to you.
Okay, fine. So basically, once. Are you serious? This is how you want to end the show?
No, we definitely want this.
Okay. So apparently once there's a staring competition between Jai Seelan and the sun, and after 12 hours, the sun finally decided to set. It lost. Like, okay, I'm giving up. It couldn't keep up. So yeah. That's one fact.
Okay.
You want to give another?
Yeah, I'll give another. So there was this one point where Jai Seelan was he was going somewhere, and he found something, and he started hitting it, and then that's how someone invented drums.
Oh wow, nice. He's basically the Rajinikanth of the Indian vegan movement. Basically.
Oh.
Rajinikanth is the non-vegan Jai Seelan.
Right.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So he basically he's capable. He's apparently counted to infinity. Yes, twice.
Twice. Yeah. So
I didn't know this category of jokes already existed.
Gaurav, let me tell you another fact. If you bring Jai Seelan to your show, Jai Seelan will become the host.
Yep. We don't make the rules. We're just saying the facts. We don't make the rules. So.
Wow.
If you invite Jaisil into your house, you will be the guest.
Yep, that is true.
So I think
think-
that is an amazing time that we had today. It's like 1.5 hours. Thank you so much, Mr. Activities, for coming to our show.
No problem. No problem.
You're definitely a great source of inspiration for us, man. Just as we were talking about relatability, I remember this. I don't watch. I haven't watched much of your stuff because after going vegan, I've gotten bored of looking at
You know
vegan
stuff.
videos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just I remember one very good video that you made. I think it was about protein and all. So in that especially you talked about how roti, sabji, dal bhat and idli and dosa are like very good for you, protein wise and what
Right.
carbs you get. So this is an excellent kind of content that we are getting, especially in the Indian scene. Like
True.
if we didn't have resources like this, how would people know like what to eat? Maybe they would have made the same mistakes that you did. Maybe they would have also
Exactly.
ended up with some ulcers or something like that. So it is definitely an amazing time to talk with you, and we want to see you next time, and we'll just talk in Hindi next time.
Yeah,
No issues, man.
next time. Oh, by the way, can you say something in Hindi for us?
I just know the bad words, dude. I don't.
Yeah, boy.
Because all my North friends would keep calling me chutia.
Now, were these non-vegans or were they vegans?
One guy, vegan guy. He was vegan. He was from Delhi. He used to keep calling me "Are chutia, sale, chutia." That's the only thing he used to call me. Nothing else. He has never said my name once. Like,
Then it's
chutia, come here.
okay. If it's a vegan, then it's okay. Otherwise, we would have jumped on his channel.
Anyways, I think this was one of the most sober and kind of laid back kind of conversations that you might have ever put outside. So thank you very much for that.
It's not about like, no one's asking me like, but what will you do if people say plants feel pain? Or what will you do if they say cow makes extra milk? Like, yeah, thanks. It's not like that. I know. Thanks.
So that's why, and I have to thank you more that you said yes and just you were just a text away.
Yeah.
And that's more important. Having such a small channel, it's really great to have you, and hope we can milk your almonds nicely. That sounds
You
bad.
Don't say your
almonds. You can surely milk my almonds. But the point is, I'll make sure I give like a shout out to you guys on my channel because, like Apota said, there are so many people on my channel, like 3 lakh followers, who are begging me, please do videos in Hindi, speak Hindi. It's after getting so many messages right now, I'm learning Hindi. So if they can now come to you guys, I'm sure they'll be very happy because, hey, look, a normal bunch of vegan guys just speaking in Hindi, talking about veganism. Like, that'll be great, very, very helpful. So I'm sure we can get many people to come and check out your guys' content.
You know what we can do, Arvind? We can also have like once a month a video call, just talking in Hindi, and then you can just learn some sentences, because I think that is the best way to learn a language, to just say it, just start speaking.
Just speak, yeah.
I think speaking is
It doesn't.
take much more time, but understanding is a bit easier, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be on record. It's just something that we
can try.
just do.
We can put it in bloopers.
Don't worry. Well, Hindi videos are coming out really soon, much sooner than you think. Very, very soon.
That means tomorrow.
Not that soon, but yeah.
Well, tomorrow never comes. Anyways, thank you very much for joining us.
Sure.
And thank you to all the viewers for listening in, for tuning in from whichever platform that you are tuning to us and listening to us. We are the Vegan Veranda. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on all audio platforms. You can listen to us in any format that you want. So next week on the same veranda, you will see us talking about some other topic. By the time this video comes out, we'll be putting out some other fun stuff as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Be safe, be vegan. Bye.